What's going on, fam bams? It's the Real Estate Dad coming back to you again with another video. You know what? Hold on. Yes. Much better. Wait a minute. There we go. That's more like it. Without further ado, let's get into today's video topic, which I think is super important if you're thinking about buying a home, and I think it's one of the first crucial steps that you should take before you even start looking for a house, and that is contacting and talking to a good, reputable lender. Now, a big reason to talk to a lender first before you even start looking at homes is realistic expectations, okay? They're gonna set the realistic expectation of what you can actually afford in a home. Let me put it this way. Unless you have cash to buy a house, a lender is the only one to set the budget. I'll say that again. Unless you have cash to buy a house, a lender is the only one that can set the budget. Not an online mortgage calculator, not an online approval, not a real estate agent. I am magical, but I don't have a crystal ball like that. And you can't base it on, what your family or your friends experience in getting a home loan. What you need to realize is the lending and mortgage process is very much not cookie cutter. And you need to talk to a lender to evaluate your specific situation. Now, they're gonna be the one to crunch the numbers and calculate what you can afford in a monthly payment. Now, having that budget in mind from the start, that's gonna save you from any headaches or hangups later on down the road. And it's also gonna save you that disappointment, that disappointment from looking at those $600,000 houses before you got your budget, and then realizing that, you might only be able to afford a $400,000 house. Now, once you've gotten that budget set, the lender's gonna give you a magic ticket. What is this magic ticket you speak of, Craig? Now, that magic ticket is an approval letter. Now, this approval letter, that tells the seller that you mean business. It tells them you've taken the proper steps to obtain a solid loan. Without an approval letter, you're just spinning your wheels, and in this market, your offer is not even gonna get a second look. So that said, if you show the seller that you've obtained a solid loan with a reputable lender, you definitely increase the chances of your offer being accepted. So since we kind of talked about why you need to talk to a lender first before you even start looking at homes, you might be asking yourself, how do I find a lender? Or what should I look out for? It's actually easier than you might think. You can check your tribe. Maybe somebody made a recent purchase. Maybe they love their lender. And if things went smoothly, well, there you go. Now, if they didn't, run! Next would be talk to your real estate agent. Now, here's the thing. We're always gonna have a handful of preferred lenders that we deal with on a regular basis. And the beauty of this situation is we've done the vetting for you. We work with them because we trust them with our clients, and we know that they're gonna get the job done. And no, we don't get any kickbacks for sending them business. Unless you consider donuts, maybe a homemade pie, a kickback. Devin, if you're watching, you got any of that homemade pie? Bring it into the office next time. Cool, thanks. Now this brings me into my next point that almost seems a little bit obvious, and that is we're always gonna get you set up with the local lender. Now, the reason why we send you to a local lender is not because we work with them all the time. Now, that's great. It's also because, they're gonna know the ins and outs of the market that you're in. There's so many moving parts to a real estate transaction, and many of them are gonna be, unique to the county or the city that you're looking in. So it just makes sense to work with somebody in the area that knows how to navigate through these financing hiccups that can be exclusive to the area. So keep this in mind. If you end up working with somebody that doesn't know the area or just doesn't know what they're doing, it can very well cause all kinds of headaches, stress, delays, or worse, killing the deal. Now, there's a few other points that I'd like to make. The first is you want to stay away from big box banks. It might sound like a good idea at first, but you might not realize that you may end up dealing with somebody out of state. You might end up dealing with somebody at the branch for a short time, but more than likely their underwriting is going to be based out of state. And that, again, is just setting you up for failure. So the second point I want to make is that you want to make sure that your lender is asking for everything under the sun, the full meal deal, the whole enchilada. Is is anybody else getting kind of hungry right now? Now what I mean by this is your pay stubs, your bank statements, your W-2s, a blood sample, fingerprints. Not the last two, but you get my point. Now all of this is going to be a sign that they are working to get you a solid approval. Now you want to keep in mind that this whole process can take a couple of days, even up to a whole week. If you're dealing with somebody and they come back within like a half hour saying you're good to go, that should be a red flag, because they're probably giving you a pre-qualification. Which brings me to my last point. You want to make sure your lender is giving you a pre-approval, not a pre-qualification. You know, to put it simply, pre-qualification is gonna be like a ticket to, you know, training camp. And a pre-approval, well, that's gonna be a ticket to the Super Bowl. It's all about that magic ticket, folks. And with that, I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this information was useful for you. If you have any questions, please drop me a comment below. Or if you have any ideas for anything in the real estate space that you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments too. Be sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and become part of the Real Estate Dad family. Love to have you. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these informational videos or videos of me cooking ribs or something like that. That was last week. You know, check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. Lastly, if you are needing any help finding a lender, I would be happy to get you connected to somebody in my tribe that will take good care of you. And with that, thank you for watching. God bless.